Hey Stitchy friends, this is Shelly back for another Flosstube update. Today I'm hoping to just show you a few of the projects that I've been stitching on since my last video, and I'll announce the winners of the giveaway and show you one project that I'm excited to start May 1st. So I'm just down at work right now, and it's very quiet in the business district where my shop is. The business next door to me is an electrical company, and they are still open for business Monday to Friday, but closed on the weekends. So this is a opportune time to be recording this. This building isn't very soundproof, so I feel like every conversation that I have in here is definitely heard by everyone next door to me. And then on the other side is a stairwell going upstairs to a yoga studio, and there's massage therapy upstairs as well. And so that is all closed right now due to COVID-19. So I just came down here today and I've been working on a customer quilt. My store is closed to retail customers, but I'm still shipping online orders, and I'm accepting quilts for long arm quilting. I just put them in a little bit of a quarantine when I receive them. They sit for about 3 to 4 days before I open them up and start working on them. So I have been getting a little bit of stitching in for sure, and mostly in the evenings. The kids are both off from school and they are preparing to be home until September. So, so their teachers are putting lessons up and helping them all through Google Classroom, which is something that I'm not very familiar with, but my kids are old enough to navigate that themselves and kind of be independent with their schoolwork. Thankfully, because they're both taking math right now, grade 9 and grade 12 math, and although I got through it when I needed to get through it, I would have to almost relearn it to help them out. So my family's not very enthused about my stitching. They can't even pretend or fake interest when I show them what I'm working on, so I need to come on here and show you guys. So you've probably, if you follow me on Instagram at Diary of a Stitcher, you've seen a lot of what I'm going to share with you today, but maybe there's a few things I haven't put on there yet. So, alright, so since my last recording, I worked a little bit more on Barbara Anna Designs, All Creatures Great and Small, and I'm standing up today. All my chairs here have wheels on them, and I was wheeling away last time if I remember right, so that is what I worked on a little bit. So I think if I remember right, I just worked on the bottom hill and stitched all the little critters there. And actually, I noticed after posting a photo on Instagram that right over here, right here, there's 3 little eyeballs, and I'm missing a cat, so I have to stitch that black cat in there before I start stitching all the grass. But I'm loving this one. Lots of color changes, so it's pretty slow going for me. And when I went to iron this today, I noticed a little speck of something here on the linen and had a little heart attack, but I'm hopeful that I'll be able to do a little. Well, first I'm going to see if that'll be covered by stitching, and that'll be a relief, and then if not, I might have to do a little spot cleaning there. That kind of stuff stresses me out for sure. So I'm eager to get back to that one and get the hill finished. So after I worked on All Creatures, I worked a little bit more on Elizabeth Jordan 1841. Now the thing about the date on this one, My understanding is that date is kind of a guess. What it says on the back here, it mentions another sampler in a private collection is the 1841 Sarah Thomas. The Thomas sampler is almost exactly like Elizabeth Jordan. The two girls could have been sitting next to each other in the same classroom. So even there is no date on Elizabeth Jordan's sampler, but it really closely resembles another one, and so that's where this date is kind of a guess. And oh, and I forgot to mention all creatures is being stitched on 40 count. Picture this plus fog linen. And I think I have this going the right direction. This one is 40 count Misty Rain from Lakeside. And I can't even remember what all I did. I think since I last showed this one, I stitched this down here. Whoop. Yeah, so I love the big blooms on this one. And actually, another sampler that I'm really eager to start. I wonder if I have that chart here with me. Might have to save that for another video, but it also has some big flowers in the border, and I'm going to do a conversion, so I've been delaying starting that one, but yeah, it's definitely calling loudly to me, and that's the Louisa Mullet sampler. I got that one a while ago from Theresa, who is at Kitten Stitcher. And so after I worked a little bit on Elizabeth Jordan, I spent a little bit more time on Peaceful Paradise from Midsummer Night Designs. And I was going to look up the name of this linen. I know it's on my Instagram somewhere. So I stitched all of the moon and the stars and the night sky over on this side, and then the first row of text over on this side as well. So the interesting thing with this, it's charted for a completely different blue there. It's charted for this Dungarees by Gentle Art. And to me, I was worried that it was a little bit too light and too bright to portray a night sky, so I ended up using Weeks Dye Works Battleship is the one that I went for. And actually, when I pulled it off the wall, it looked like almost like a charcoal gray with a little bit of steely blue tone in there. But once I stitched it next to the yellow and the golds, it definitely gave it more of a blue look, and I'm really happy with how it looks. Yeah. So eager to get back to that one. Definitely. Where's my phone? I might be able to just quickly look up the linen, because it's been bugging me for a while that I don't know that linen off the top of my head. I know it's Lakeside. I try when I start a project and post it on Instagram to put all the details so I can refer back to it, because I sometimes forget. This would have been back during Mania, 2018. It might just remain a mystery. Oh, here we go. 40 count vintage straw flower from Lakeside Linens. That's what it is. Like, I had such a hard time finding the linen I was looking for with just a really slight peach hue to it, but very neutral sampler linen. And I don't even know if I've seen that particular linen since then from Lakeside. So I scooped it up when I could, and I'm glad I did. It's perfect for the look I was going for. All right, and then the last couple nights I've been working on Barbara Anna Designs Portuguese bird sampler. Ooh, where am I at? And I'm kind of changing this one a little bit. I am removing the large alphabet here and a few other tiny little bands going across to make it a square. So I'm actually surprised I pulled this one the other night. I was ready for a switch and I went through my bin of whips and this is the one that was just calling to be worked on. So I've had to look at this. I've got like over 3 inches on this side and just a little bit over here. So that was poor planning, but I just put some fabric there so I can clamp it properly, and this will be lots for framing. I do my own framing and that will not be a problem. So yeah, just working on the border mainly. So you can see it's going to be squarish instead of the rectangular design that originally was charted. And I've just been working also on this little band going across. This is all DMC threads, and the linen is 40 count alabaster linen from Zweigart. I wonder if I have something white I can put beside it. It's just a very, very, very pale gray. Here's some poster. Can you see? Like, it's a very pale gray, but I like how muted it is. I've ordered that in for the store. Like, I think I ordered it in 28, 32, 36, and 40 count, because it's just a very nice neutral linen that I think a lot of people will enjoy. Oh, and there was another small project that I worked on in the last few weeks, and that is Plum Street Samplers Gathering Honey. And yeah, there's all sorts of glare in here. The lighting in the shop is like overhead fluorescent lighting, and so everything gets a little bit of that reflected. And I just one evening finished stitching the words on here, and I'm shuffling it around if you remember. So it's going to look a little different than it was originally charted. But again, it looks like, if I remember, my initial plans for this one is to make it a square. I really like square designs. So yeah, I really like the variegation in that. I wonder what that thread is. Tarnished gold, maybe? Old hickory? One of those two. All right. So that's all I've worked on in the last little bit. I'm really excited. I noticed on Instagram that there's a stitch along that's starting May 1st, and it's the Berry Bowl Sampler. I don't know if I even showed that one from Nashville, but it was the collaboration with Beth Twist of Heartstring Samplery and Tanya Brockmeyer of the Scarlet House. And they each stitched a side and pieced the two linens together in the middle. And there's a cute little story that explains the inspiration and the background of this design. And so the entire piece, when it's stitched, is 200 by 200. And the stitch along that's starting on May 1st is hosted by Kristen of Hollis Hands Create on Instagram, and Kristen of Blue Bonnets and Whiskey. You'll be able to find them on Instagram and find out more information about the stitch along. So I can't even remember the whole process of how I found out about the stitch along. I heard about it in someone's Flosstube video. I just can't remember who that person was, but I went onto Instagram, and when I was scrolling through the comments on the post about the stitch along, I noticed that there was a lady there looking for someone to stitch and swap with. And I'm like, yes, I so want to do that. So Beth and Tanya did, what did they use here? They used 36 count Heartland and 36 count Wren linen. And apparently they stitch opposite to each other as far as which part of the X they stitch first and last. So they're opposites, but I don't even remember noticing that when I saw the model at Nashville. I just remember falling in love with it when I saw the model. So when I saw the information about this ahead of market in an email, I was kind of like, that might be a bit monotonous to stitch all those berry bowls. I'm not sure if I ever will, but then when I saw the model, I was like, oh yeah. And I need to find a friend to exchange with. So the lady looking for someone to stitch and exchange with was Linda Spalding on Instagram. I believe she's Spalding_Linda on Instagram. And so I messaged her and basically asked if we could be friends, stitching friends in exchange. So what I ended up doing was pulling some linens out of my stash that kind of went together to see like if any of them suited her taste as well. And these two linens are the ones that we settled on. So this lighter one, I have it written down here, is Old Bunny from XJU Design. On Etsy, you can find her beautiful linens, and there's also some needlework shops that stock her linens. And then the darker one is Rustic Driftwood. They're both 40 count linens, which would be really important to pick the same count for both sides so that they match up. And I even think it would be important to use the same dyer, because like make sure you have two picture this plus, just because of the dyeing process you want to be similar. The shrinkage you would want to be similar. So yeah, I think those two are going to look really good together. There's just a bit of a difference in the darkness of them, but they're the same color family. And then I pulled the threads, and I don't know if I'll be able to show them all very well, but they're beautiful colors. So I'm going to start this one on May 1st for the stitch along, and it'll be my first Mania start. And then I don't want to, we'll see how it goes. I don't want to feel a ton of pressure to stitch it quickly or under any sort of a timeline. But I'm really excited about the whole exchanging with Linda, and hopefully it's not too tricky to piece it together and make it look as neat as the model turned out. So there's that. And then last time I posted an update. I was giving away 2 designs, and the first one was Flower Gardening by Nikki's Creations. So I'm just, if you'll bear with me, I'm just going to use an app on my phone to select a random winner for that giveaway. All right. I tried using a few different one of these random generators just to see how it was going to go. And for some reason, the first one I tried told me that comments were disabled on my video. So I went and I was like, no, they're not. So then I just have tried a different one called Pick a Winner. Okay, so for the flower gardening chart from Nikki's Creations, there's 23 people that commented. And the winner is Linda Schindhelm. Let's see if I can put that up there. Linda, I'll comment on your comment, and you can get in touch with me through your preferred social media so I can get that chart in the mail to you. And the other chart that I was giving away was from With Thy Needle and Thread, and it was the I Collect. I've seen several finishes of this already on Instagram, which confirms it's a quick stitch. And let me put the right keyword in here. Collect. See, I need to learn how to edit, so you don't have to bear with me through this part. 16 people were interested in that one. Ah, Anna. Anna is from the Yukon, and I actually don't know. I try and read every comment that comes in, but I'm not sure if I noticed this comment from you, Anna. So I will comment on your comment, and you can get in touch with me however you'd like, so I can get this into the mail for you. Yukon, that's a good place to be right now. I've been following the spread of coronavirus across Canada in those northern provinces and territories. That's the place to be right now, just because there's fewer incidents of the virus there for sure. So let me think what else I wanted to share today. That might be it. Short and sweet. I think all my videos will be short and sweet. So I hope everybody's keeping well and sticking close to home as much as you can. Not going crazy with all your family members at home with you if that's your situation. Oh, it's, crazy times right now, but thank goodness we have this hobby, and I'm so thankful for all of you. Thankful for all of you who have supported my small business at creativequarters.ca, and I look forward to seeing you again in a future video. Bye-bye!